Everyone, welcome back again. I think there is a major connectivity issues because I'm waiting for my friend, beautiful friend Janita to join me on sharing life secrets with Saumya. And I think my October month was extremely hectic, so I couldn't chat it with you guys much. But I can see my friend is here. Let me connect her so we can start our beautiful the sharing life secret with Saumya. Hey Janita, I sent you the request. Please accept it and join my request so we can see each other. Hi Janita, here we go. Now I can see you.
Finally.
So Janita, I was telling everyone that you are such an amazing person. Thank you so much for giving me your precious time and welcome to the Sharing Life Secrets with Saumya series. I'm quite excited to go through with you with amazing question. But before we start, I just would like to give an introduction about Janita. She is a truly beautiful person I met in my life. She is the CEO of Animal Rescue Rehabilitation Organization. She's a big animal lover, and I think that's one common thing I definitely share with you. So I'm so excited to have you today. Thank you for giving me your time.
Thank you, Saumya. It's nice to be on air. I'm happy to help wherever I can. How are you?
I'm very well, and I just wanted to let you know that currently people are watching us live not only from South Africa but from all over the world, from the different part of the world. And after we're done with the live session, this is gonna go on the IGTV. So are you
Okay.
ready for the questions what I'm gonna ask you? but it's just a genuine authentic question. It's nothing hectic.
Okay. I like the little clouds in your video.
Yeah, it's just like my Instagram magic. I thought, okay, let me create some magic just to make it more pretty.
Yes.
So I just tried it out.
Yeah. Okay.
So my first
Very
question to
pretty.
you is, sharing life secret with Saumya is all about the authenticity, the reality, the people who are highly successful in their life. And I think it's very important to tell the success stories to the people to encourage, to motivate, to inspire. So that's why I started this IG series. And I think I'm so blessed, like I'm getting 10K, 15K views. Like a lot of people are loving this video. So I'm so excited. So my first question to you is why you do what you do. Define life in your way.
Okay. Well, okay, why do I do what I do? Well, I am first of all, obviously as you know, I love animals. I have a very deep connection with nature. Um, Sometimes I get very frustrated because my connection is so deep, especially when people are hurting the earth and hurting all the animals and the people that live on the earth. So I generally just spend my time doing things that make me happy, and that's working with animals and working with nature. And most of the time it's about photographing it as well.
I've seen your photography. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. Which places do you go? The way you explore, the way you click your pictures, I think you definitely need to teach me about it. I'm waiting for that.
I'm glad you like them. Thanks, Saumya.
So
It's
now,
just fun.
my other question to you is, tell me something, share something game changer moment of your life which changed completely your life story. And do you remember any beautiful game changer moment of your life?
Yes. Okay. You know, for me, I find that, a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but a lot of people spend so much time trying to get others to approve of them. And they often get very depressed and very sad because they can never be good enough. They end up being a person that they don't want to be. They're trying to please others. And
Yeah.
for me, something that was really profound was when I finally said to myself, why don't I just spend time with people that actually like me for who I am? Why must I be around or even try to be around people that don't necessarily agree with my values and my way of doing things? So ever since then, I have spent all my time only with people that actually enjoy my company. And that has made it so much more rewarding. Just, it's amazing. And, you know, and those are the kind of people I cherish.
How did you started your passion about animals, like saving them, looking after each and every animal, even on the road, even on the beaches, wherever you are? How did you started that passion?
Saumya, I grew up in a small town north of South Africa, in Palabora, next to the Kruger National Park. And my dad had a farm there. And even in those days, sorry, my cat is my cat's on my desk. Yeah. Even in those days, I would always try to tame wild animals, and we also we had a lot of feral cats in town, and I always used to try and tame the feral cats by giving them my dog's food. And I managed to actually do that. And my first dog that I ever owned was a rescue dog that I befriended, and he started following me to school every day. And I used to give my bread to him. Um, and the teacher didn't like it because he'd come into the classroom and I'd share my lunch with him. And he'd be sitting at the door waiting for break so that, you know, I can come out and play with him. And then when I go home, he'd walk home with me. So I had this free-spirited dog that he was all over the place. And I've always just adopted and rescued animals before I even knew that adopting and rescue was something to do. You know, I used to go to the SPCA to play with the animals, you know. I loved going to the SPCA. So it's just always been an absolute passion of mine to connect with animals.
Tell me something. I would like to ask you a very practical question. You know, today's world is today's world follows something different thing. Like there is so many people who are trying to get famous, who are trying to get publicity stunt, and because of that they don't finish their education, they do a shortcut routes, and then after entering to this glitz and glamour world, they realize very later in their life that why education is so important. They have been chosen their career in a different way. So what are your views about this? What message you would like to give our upcoming generation?
Saumya, it's a very good question. And, you know, I always say that children of today, no matter how much money or little money they have, when they have an education, the world becomes their oyster.
Yeah.
And they can do absolutely anything. And they not only can get a job, but they become capable of creating work. And I've told my children that they must never go and look for a job. They must create jobs. Their role in life is to create employment and create a legacy for the people that they are going to influence in their life going forward.
Very true. So why I'm asking you this question, because this realistic question I love to ask all my guests, because when the message comes from you, I believe that the people who watch us, who are going to watch our IGTV later on, they get some kind of right guidance. Tell me, Janita, something. You know that the whole world nowadays, we lot of talk about women empowerment, women empowerment, women empowerment. There is two kind of people in the world. those who genuinely wanted to do the women empowerment, and there's a second kind of a people who only want to talk about women empowerment just to get their publicity stunt or just to get a bit of attention. What are your views about this?
Saumya, I don't particularly uh, uh, um, I don't particularly see these people as, shall I say, when these women go out and empower other women, I find that, and I don't know, people might not like my answer, but I am of the opinion that, it is important to empower the bottom end of the workforce. But I find that the middle end of the workforce is neglected. And that workforce must be empowered to help more people below them.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of people spend a lot of time only working on from the roots up. And I'm saying, why don't they spend more time from a middle class kind of individual and empower those people so that they can create more individuals to empower more people at a faster rate. So my focus, if I was somebody that wanted to empower women, I would like to empower women that are able to create jobs.
I completely agree with you, because I think then a lot of people can get jobs and a lot of people can get help. I think that is very important. Tell me, Janita, this world is so competitive. What do you think? Who's your biggest competition? How you see the competitions in the world?
Competition.
Yeah.
Okay. Saumya, I'm not a competitive person. So, for me, I would rather, honestly, if I was swimming in a swimming pool at a race or running a race, I would rather slow down and run across the finish line with somebody, because I'd feel bad because I'm winning and I'm beating them. So I'm not a very good person when it comes to competitiveness. But I do feel that when it comes to competition, I always say, know what your competition is doing, but don't spend your time wondering what they're doing and trying to improve on what your competition is doing. So if competition does something, then I'm going to try and do something the same but better. No, you're wasting your time. And you're also wasting very valuable, positive energy. Because if you focus on your competition, you end up getting disheartened, because they might be very successful in what they're doing. And then you think, oh my goodness, now, and actually feel very empty inside. And that's not a good thing. So know what they're doing, but focus on your own things. Spend your time and your energy on your goals and your mission in life. Because again, if you carry on looking at what other people are doing, you're never actually going to achieve what you want to do. You're always just going to you're going to achieve what others want to achieve, and you're never going to be happy. Not in your work, not in your personal life. So yeah, I always say, just do your own thing. Be your own leader. Don't be a follower.
Wow. I think definitely I'm learning a lot from you. So it's so like brain refreshing and motivational. Janita, tell me something. You are such a highly successful woman today. You have your own brand. You run your pet insurance company. You run your such a big magazine and articles. You're a blogger. You're planning for the Arrow. You know that you are so highly successful and powerful. When people come to you only to use you in your life, how do you deal those kind of people who only coming to you in your life with a mindset of using you? How do you manage these kind of people in your life? Wow, that's one of my always favorite questions.
Saumya, I don't necessarily allow people to use me, and if they are using me, um, they it's only to my benefit. Because if they're using me, I'll make sure it's to my benefit. Otherwise, they won't be able to use me. I won't be giving them my time and my energy.
But how good you are in judging, like, okay, how you need to manage, how you don't need to manage, because sometimes people can be very tricky. Like, you don't
Mm.
know, they become your friends, they become your best friends, they come in your life, they get your contacts, they get your connection, they try to use you. I mean,
Oh, I
especially,
hear you.
yeah, so
Yes.
like it's quite tricky,
Mm.
but I love one thing about you, that you don't waste your time, your energy on these kind of people. So I think that is the best advice one can get about it. Tell me something about Arrow. Arrow is such a big dream project of South Africa. You wanted to start Arrow in South Africa, and then slowly, you further wanted to progress to the another countries. So, and
Mm.
I'm so happy that you chose me as a brand ambassador and a board member for Arrow. So, tell me something about Arrow. So, all the people who are watching us, they can get an idea, like, what you're planning, why you're planning, what is your target and mission to achieve.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Saumya. Um, like I said, my idea of wanting to help others um, became a reality when I realized that everybody in animal welfare are asking for help, asking for help, asking for handouts. Can you come and put up a fence? Can you come and fix our roof? Can you pave our driveway? Whatever it is. And I'm the kind of person that, why do I have to, try and put a plaster on the problem? And that is what made me realize that, why can't I go and develop a plan that is a perfect animal shelter model? What is something that will create productivity, improve productivity, improve adoption rates, and improve the life of the animals in the shelter and the life of the people working at the shelter? Because animal welfare people, they often they work they put their entire life and soul into their daily routine. And I
Yeah,
wouldn't say it's a job, it's a passion. And they might get a few cents, just to cover their bills.
yeah.
So it's a very thankless environment. And yes, there are people that abuse the privilege sometimes, but they work so incredibly hard, and they see the worst of the worst every single day, all day. And my mission was, or is, to just take the hard work that they don't need to have, take it out of the equation, so they can focus on their passion, and that is to rescue and help animals. So, in other words, give them an environment that is productive to work in, so that they can do more in a lesser or smaller amount of time. Um, so I built up a team of people to help me. So this is not just me that has developed this. Reniske Ardendorf, Sean Ardendorf from Reniske Ardendorf was a key individual to help me to develop this plan and make it a productive environment. So the plan, if and when we build it, will be 75% more productive than your average animal shelter is today. So everything is in place now. We've done the plans, we've got the layout, we know exactly what we want to do. Now it's just a matter of saying, okay, now we've got to find the sponsor that's going to help us to build this perfect animal shelter. And hopefully we will be able to build many of them, because they are easy to duplicate, and uh, 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 um, and they are easy to build because they're built out of shipping containers.
I think I must say that the arrow, what you're bringing now, it's something very exclusive and unique project, because I've never heard about it. And I think what model you're bringing, I think you will be the first one to build that maybe in the world, but
Mm,
definitely
mm,
first one in South Africa. So the other countries can
yes.
approach and apply, take your model and rebuild. I mean, take your model and apply in their country to save animals' lives. So I think everybody who's watching us live, I just wanted to give you an idea that she is really building the first animal rescue rehabilitation center model to give home to the animals who are homeless and the animals who are in need. Janita, I must say hats off to you, because there is so many people who do so much charities about everyone, but there is very rare people in the world who think about animals. And I just want to say that I love animals more than my life, because they are the one who truly unconditionally love you. They are the one who never judge you no matter what. Tell me
They
something
God's
about
little
your,
earth angels.
sorry.
They God's little earth angels.
Yes, and tell me something about your pet magazines and the company or the brand you're running, and about your magazines, about your blogs. Tell me about it so people can know about it more.
Thank you, Saumya. Yes, you know, I used to have a kiteboarding website, and then I let go of that because it was part of a previous relationship. And then I had this huge gap in my life to express my creativity. And then I decided that why don't I just express my creativity in the field that I love it the most of, and that's in for pets. And that's when I decided to build a online pet magazine. Um, and at the moment, that website has got, I think, over 1,000 pages on it
Wow.
of good quality content and growing. And then, of course, we like to feature everything about animal and pet health. Now and again, we write stories that are current, but we tend to prefer to write uh, about content that is not that will not be dated. So you can read it today, you can read it in 10 years' time, it will still be relevant to pet ownership. So that's kind of content that we like to focus on. And then, of course, we also offer free listings for anybody and everybody who has a pet business in South Africa,
Yes.
to list their businesses, and that gets a huge amount of exposure. And then we to make a return on our investment,
Yeah.
we sell pet insurance on the site, and it's a very, very good product. As I'm using it myself, I'm sold on it myself. It's not something that I would be ashamed of having. I am totally committed to the product. Pet Healthcare has a brokerage that actually manages all the paperwork for us. We do the marketing, and they assist us with all the legalities and
Yes.
setting up the agreements. And then, of course, we also sell advertising space, and that's how we get a return on our investment.
Janita, I really want you to tell something about, because there is so many people who are the pet lover, who are the animal lover, who are dog lover. Especially me, I love dogs. You know me. Like, so there is so many people in the world who love their pets, but they truly don't know which food is good for the dogs, which food they should eat, how can they look after it, what is the benefit of having pet insurance. I think this is a very important knowledge one should know, and I know you are the best person to tell everyone about it. So please give some education about it to us.
Okay. Well, let's start with pet insurance.
Yeah.
Um, I believe in my heart that anybody who has a pet and does
Yeah.
not have pet insurance um, is going to come stuck, because a vet visit costs
A
nothing
lot.
under 1,000 rand. and and if something goes wrong, and there's some sort of surgery or an injury or an illness, it's going to cost them an arm and a leg, and that's why I believe you must get pet insurance the moment you get the animal. Ideally, you want to get your pet insurance from the age of about 8 weeks, when when the animal is still very young. Because no pet insurance covers pre-existing conditions. So the moment an animal develops some sort of breathing problem, or maybe cancer, which is quite prevalent in today's society, then it's going to cost them a lot of money. So, getting pet insurance is a drop in the ocean compared to what it will cost them when they need to visit the vet. So that's the first thing. And then the other thing that I would recommend that people take very seriously is the food that they give their animals. And I know we're in a rushed society, and we want to give them the best, but we also don't have the time to always stand in front of the stove and maybe make them a meal or whatever. So I have done a tremendous amount of research, and I know that a lot of pet brands are not going to be too happy with what I'm saying right now, but dog food was developed during World War II, when they decided to take dogs with them to war. And the reason why they, and what they actually did is they baked them biscuits and kept that in containers to prolong the food for the animals. So the biscuits became a dog food environment that was very successful. And from there onwards, it developed and developed and developed and became a thriving industry.
Wow.
Up until I'd say about 10 years ago, the average dog lived to about 18 or 19, because the dog food wasn't as bad as it is now, the quality of the dog food. And it's not necessarily the producers of the food that is giving our pets bad food. It is the genetically modified ingredients that go into the food. So they might use a flour that they've been using for a long time and whatever, with all the other flavorants and stuff. But every year they're getting the same product, but it's becoming more and more contaminated with genetic modification. And it has been proven, research has proven, that 1 in 2 dogs will get cancer in today's society. And it has to be from the food that they are eating, because there's no other common denominator. You can't say it's the environment, you cannot say it's the medication. It has to be the food. So if you're feeding your dog
Sorry, Anita, are you breaking up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. So in today's society, 1 in 2 dogs will get cancer. And if you're feeding your dog pellet, the kibble, if you feed your dog dry dog food, the chances that they will get cancer is a 50-50. And the numbers are 1 in 3 dogs will develop, or animals, pets, will develop obesity, or they'll develop diabetes, because of obesity that kicks in because these dogs are eating such poor quality food. And yes, I know the animal brands out there are doing their best to try and put in the nutrition and the flavors, and they really are providing a very good product, but they have no alternative, to put in what they've been given. And that's why I would say it is of utmost essence that people stay away from any dry food. I believe anything that lasts longer than 3 days is not good for either a human or an animal. So, but then I also say that, there is a place for this food, because not everybody has, especially in South Africa, that not everybody has the ability to have and provide their pets with fresh food, and the animals need to eat.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, there is that environment to say that, the food is needed and it has to be created. So unfortunately, that is the way forward when it comes to food. And I would say get a raw food for your animals, for your pets, and or like a slightly cooked food, also very good for your animals. And stick to, there's 10 foods that are incredibly, incredibly toxic for dogs, especially, that people don't know. Macadamias are toxic for dogs, for instance, that people don't know. Xylitol, any product with xylitol in it.
Yeah.
Chocolate, and it's not the chocolate that's bad, it's the cocoa. So the darker the chocolate, the worse it is. But if there's one item I would never give my dog, no matter what, funny enough, that would be cheese.
Oh,
I would never, ever, ever,
I
never.
heard that people say, I don't know, that's what I wanted to know. Like, a lot of people say, no, you can give cheese to the dogs because it's nice. Cheese and peanut butters and all those things.
You can give peanut butter, but I, in my heart, believe that cheese, when they eat the cheese, they actually can't clean their teeth. And cheese is the one thing that gets stuck in their teeth and causes the decay. And the animals suffer terribly. And then when they get poor dental health, that is when all the other illnesses then get triggered. Because they've got this bacteria, they keep on swallowing it into the gut, and eventually they get growths in their stomach. They've got rotten teeth. And I feel so sorry for the animals, and people don't know it. So, yeah, if there's one thing I would never give my dog as a snack, no matter what, no matter how.
Dairy products, because I see a lot of people give their dogs like milk, wheat rotis, and like yogurts. What about the other dairy products?
No, milk is probably one of the worst things you can give to a cat. Most people who have a cat for the first time would want to give their cat milk and think it's a good thing. But cats need a water, and that's all. Even kittens. If an animal needs milk, they need milk from the mother, not from a cow.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So that is really what I would recommend, is to try and give your animal food that can only last 3 days outside of a fridge, and anything that lasts longer than 3 days is not good. Funny enough, my animals love cucumber, they love apple. It's fresh, it tastes, it's almost like
they also very good for the teeth. Carrots.
Yes, you can give them carrot. Carrot doesn't digest really well. It just goes straight through the body. But cucumber and apple works very well for them. They love that. And it's crispy. And also sometimes in summer, I will give my dog a frozen food. It's like in the shape of a sausage. And I would give it to him frozen, and then he bites on it and he chews on it like an ice lolly. So then I feed him frozen. I don't necessarily always do that because I also believe that cold stuff's not very good for your kidneys. But if it's really hot and I feel that he will enjoy it, I'll give it to him frozen.
I think, Janita, the information what you have given us about dog dietary habits, dog dietary food items, their insurances, a lot of people are not even aware about it. So thank you for sharing such an exclusive knowledge with us. Before we
You're
finish this
welcome.
amazing talk session, I would like to know if people wanted to follow you about your magazines, about your pet insurance, about more information about the arrow and all other things, which social media platform are you available and where people can find you?
Saumya, they can find me obviously on this channel. This is my personal channel, but then I've also got pet healthcare. They can go to the website pethealthcare.co.za, and everything is on there. And then, of course, Arrow, the website for Arrow is arro.org.za. And all our things are on there, all our social media, contact details, etc. And if they want to see our photography, they can go to our website, alexaitkenhead.co.za.
Yes, definitely. Everybody who's watching us currently live, please, please, please see their photography. It's amazing. You can never believe it that these photos are from Cape Town. I mean, it's incredible. So I follow their page and it's just amazing. Oh my God. And I remember Alex literally used the Apple iPhone 11 Pro and he taught me. I'm still trying to learn, but I think I'm far behind. So I still have to get more tips from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Alex and I, we often fight about, because I'm using the Sony Note 10 and he uses the Apple. And we're always fighting about whose cameras takes the best photos. And I must say, the Apple is very good, but he does get a bit jealous every now and again because I do have things on my phone that he doesn't have. And like I've got a remote shutter release. My pen, my Note 10 pen it's a remote shutter, so I can stand far away from my phone and take pictures, selfies and stuff. And he has to put a timer on and run, if he wants to do like family selfies, small things like that, but it works. They're both lovely phones, yes.
But me, Sid, Alex, we are Team Apple, and I can't wait for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Oh my God, they're promising the world best camera. So let's see what's coming up next. But Janita, thank you so much for giving me your precious time, and I'm sure that we really learned a lot from you. Please, before we go, I just want you to say hello to all your viewers who are watching us currently live and give your message to all of them.
Okay. Well, thank you, Saumya. First of all, I want to say thank you to you for your time and for asking me all these questions of all the things I do. I just have a lot of fun, honestly. And I hope you are going to do well. I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you're going to be doing in the future, especially your aesthetic clinic that you're going to be starting. I can't wait. Mrs. Hirsch says she's going to be your first customer. I'm going to stand right behind her.
Anytime, anything for you.
And yeah, to everybody else, thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. You can follow us on wherever. We've got lots of social media avenues that we follow. We're very passionate about nature. So yeah, that's kind of where we're aiming to go as as we grow into more mature lives, away from working and retiring. So yes, thank you very much for that, and thank you everybody for watching. Really appreciate it.
And I can't wait to see you soon for our next coffee catch up and our next hiking.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I must still take. Yes, we must go and do that hike. Oh yes. Thank you for
Yes.
reminding me.
So I will wait for you, and thank you once
Yes.
again. Lots of love. I just would like to request everyone that I'm going to post this on IGTV so people can even watch it later on. And thank you. I will see you soon with my another amazing guest. Lots of love, Janita. Thank you.
Thanks, Saumya. Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye bye.